There's a conversation that happens between architects that almost never makes it to the client. It goes something like this. The client wants something dramatic, something with angles and roofline complexity and a shape that announces itself from the road. And the architect nods and draws exactly what the client asked for, and then goes home and builds something completely different for themselves. A cube, 4 walls, clean edges, a flat or mono-slope roof, nothing extra, nothing performed. This video is about why and what it means for every barndominium buyer who's been told that simple is settling. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start looking at barndominium shapes. The more complicated the shape, the more it costs. The more it breaks, the more it costs to fix. Every extra wing, every angled roofline, every dramatic corner, all of it adds money during the build and headaches after move-in. The cube does the opposite. 4 walls, 1 roof, everything straightforward. And somehow, in the hands of the right design, it ends up being the most striking building on the road. That's not an accident. That's exactly what architects figured out a long time ago. Reason 1. It's cheaper to build than it looks. This is the part that surprises people most. When you look at a modern cube barndominium, dark metal cladding, clean lines, dramatic windows, it reads expensive. It reads like someone spent serious money on a serious architect. Most of the time, they spent less than their neighbor who built a barndominium with 3 roof lines and 2 wings. Why? Because the cube wastes nothing. Every dollar goes toward actual building. Walls, roof, foundation, interior, none of it disappears into complicated framing joints, decorative trim, or roofline intersections that a contractor charges a premium to execute. Simple to frame, simple to roof, simple to insulate, simple to finish. The cube looks like it cost more than it did. That gap between perceived value and actual cost is exactly the kind of math architects love. Reason 2. Your energy bills will thank you. Forget the technical explanation. Here's the simple version. The more exterior wall your home has, the more your HVAC system works to fight the outside temperature. More wall equals more effort. More effort equals more bills. Every month, forever. The cube has less exterior wall per room than any other barndominium shape. An L shape, a U shape, an H shape, they all have more outer wall surface for the same amount of interior space. More surface the weather can attack, more surface the HVAC has to defend. The cube keeps it tight. Less wall, less exposure, less fighting the weather. People who've moved from a complex-shaped barndominium into a cube regularly describe the utility bill difference as the first thing they notice, not the aesthetics, the monthly savings. There's a particular kind of confidence in simplicity, not the confidence of someone who couldn't think of anything more complex, the confidence of someone who thought through everything more complex and came back to this. That's what a modern cube barndominium communicates. Not a budget decision, not a lack of imagination, a decision made by someone who understood every option and chose the one that works best. That distinction changes everything about how you experience the building. Reason 3. The light inside is different. Walk into a cube barndominium on a clear morning and something hits you that's hard to name at first. Every room is bright. Not one bright room and 2 dark ones, not a sunny kitchen and a dim bedroom corridor. Every room bright. Here's why. The cube doesn't block itself. In an L shape or U shape, one wing throws shadow on another for part of the day. Some rooms spend hours waiting for light that the building itself is intercepting. The cube sits in its landscape like an open hand. Light comes from the east in the morning, south through the day, west in the evening. No part of the building is hiding behind another part. Every window gets its moment. And when you design the windows intentionally, bigger on the south side, smaller on the north, positioned for the best view your land offers, the light inside a cube barndominium feels curated. Warm where it should be warm, bright where you need to see, soft where you want to rest. That's not a feature anyone installs, it's a consequence of the shape itself. Reason 4.
It's becoming the most desirable look in residential design, and most barndominium buyers don't know it yet. Open any serious architecture publication right now. Scroll through the homes that win design awards, the buildings that people photograph and share and aspire to. They're cubes. Dark metal, clean edges, flat or single-slope roof, windows that look like they were placed with intention. No decoration, no fuss. Just the building, sitting in its landscape, completely certain of itself. This aesthetic, which the barndominium world has been quietly building for years without calling it anything, is the most celebrated residential design language in the world right now. Japan has been doing it for decades. Scandinavia built an entire national design identity around it. And now it's arrived in rural America in the form of a metal building on a concrete slab. And the people who recognize it for what it is are building some of the most striking properties in the country. The cube barndominium isn't behind the design curve. It is the design curve. The rest of the market just hasn't caught up. What it actually looks like. Let's make this concrete. Outside, dark metal cladding, the kind that looks almost black in overcast light and goes deep charcoal in the sun. No decorative trim, no shutters, no ornamental brackets, just the material, flat against the wall, doing its job and looking extraordinary while it does it. Windows that sit flush in the wall, large, intentional, positioned for the view rather than symmetry. A front door that doesn't apologize for being a front door, wide, solid, set into the facade like it belongs there. The roof disappears, either a clean parapet edge that makes the building look like a perfect box from a distance, or a single slope that draws the eye in one direction and creates a tall interior wall on the high side. Inside, the cube opens up completely. No awkward corners where a wing meets the main body, no corridor that exists only because the shape demanded it. One clean volume that you divide exactly how your life works. Ceiling goes up, light comes in, the space does what you tell it to. That's what $180,000 to $260,000 builds in a modern cube barndominium in 2026. Something that looks like it belongs in an architecture magazine and functions better than anything twice the price on a conventional lot. The one thing people push back on. Here it is. It looks too plain. And honestly, from a distance, before the landscaping goes in and before the windows are placed, a cube under construction does look plain. 4 walls going up, a flat roof line, nothing announcing itself. The neighbor who drives past during framing will probably wonder what's happening. The neighbor who drives past after move-in will probably ask who designed it. That's the cube's entire story. It doesn't perform during construction, it delivers at completion, and it keeps delivering in lower bills, lower maintenance, and a design that ages better than anything with decorative complexity for every year after that. The people who hesitate at plain end up with buildings that peak at the ribbon cutting. The people who commit to the cube end up with buildings that get better looking every single year. Architects love the modern cube barndominium because it's honest. It doesn't dress itself up to hide what it is. It doesn't add complexity to justify a price tag. It doesn't borrow a style it has no connection to. It's a building doing exactly what a building should do, for less money than the alternatives, with better light, lower bills, and a design language that the rest of the world already recognizes as exceptional. The secret has been sitting in plain sight the whole time. And if you've been trying to convince someone that the cube is the right call and they keep saying it looks too simple, send them this video. Let the numbers make the argument. Drop a comment. Tell me where you are with your build. Tell me if the cube just made the short list. Subscribe. New video every week. See you in the next one.